Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Marla. I make videos every week of the things that I make that you can make too. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make this apron that I made out of some Ikea, some tea towels that I bought at Ikea. Really inexpensive, easy to make, just takes a couple of supplies and you know, some beginner sewing skills. It's really not that hard. If you're new at sewing, this is a really good project to practice some sewing skills. It probably took me maybe an hour to complete this. So really easy project. I think you're gonna like it. It's useful in the end, which is something I always appreciate. So let me show you how to make it. So this is what the packaging looks like for the tea towels at Ikea. You get 4 in a pack for $2.99, which is a great deal, really. So the first thing I did was I washed all the tea towels and then I'm just ironing them so they're flat and ready to sew. Instead of creating 2 long straps in the back, what I'm going to do is use these 1-inch D-rings on one side so that it's just a shorter piece, and I can actually, when I go to hook the back, I'm just pulling from one side instead of from the back. And also then the straps aren't as long and you don't have to use as much fabric to create the straps. So this bottom part here is what I'm going to cut off of this piece. This piece is going to be the pocket. So the top part folded over is what's going to be the pocket. I want it to be 2 layers so it's a little thicker, a little more sturdy. And then I'm going to cut off that bottom part. Depending on the size of your waist, this piece on the bottom could be enough to create the straps that you need. The shorter one on one side and then the longer one to go across. I decided to add a little bit of interfacing between the 2 layers of the pocket, just again to make it a little more sturdy since it's going to be holding things. One side of this interfacing is the shiny side. That's the side that has the glue on it, and that's the side that you're going to have down towards the fabric, and then you're ironing on top of it to glue it on. So again, it just gives it a little bit more stiffness and will make that pocket a little more sturdy. So it's really easy to iron on. It doesn't take a lot of heat to do that. The next step is just to determine the location of the pocket. I have it a couple inches here, 3 inches maybe down from what will be the waistband. The pocket material seems a little bigger than the actual apron, but that's okay if there's a little pucker there, no problem. So now what we're going to do is attach the pocket to the back of the apron, going up the side. Obviously you're only sewing 3 sides and then the top part of the pocket will remain open. So I'm just going around. Remember, this is 2 layers that I folded over. So the folded side is going to be at the top of the pocket and then the bottom part that has the open side is what I'm sewing together here. So now I've gone all the way around the 3 sides of the pocket, and what I'm going to do is go back down and sew around it again about a 1/4 inch in. So now it's going to have a double seam. That's really just more decorative, but also to make the pocket a little more sturdy on the sides and the bottom. So the next step is to sew the seams for the pocket. Right now it's just one big open space, so I want to separate it into sections. I'm sewing down the middle here to make 2 pockets, but then also I decide on one side I'm gonna sew that in half as well. Because I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I'm in an apron, what I'm wanting to hold is my phone. So I'm gonna sew another line there on the left side to separate that into 2 pockets. One, you know, that can hold my phone. Next, I'm going to start working on the straps. This is the piece that we cut off of the tea towel that we used for the pocket. I realize this piece isn't long enough for me, but depending on your waist size, that could work for your 2 straps. I just pulled out another one of the towels, and now I'm cutting this wide enough to to go around the D-ring, but also to fold over twice. So I have it folded over once, and then I cut a little extra because that side I'm going to need to fold over too. I turn the towel and I cut another strip here for the little piece, that second strap that I'm going to use. So now I'm going to fold and iron the side that's already sewed in, because it's got the seam just from the towel. I'm just going to use that as a sewn edge already. And then the raw edge, I just iron over and tuck it inside so the raw edge is enclosed in the strap. And then I do the same on this other piece. And then all I'm doing is sewing it closed so the raw edge is inside the strap and it looks the same on both sides. Now, even though this other side is a folded edge, I do go ahead and just sew down it. It's more just decorative, just so both sides look the same. Now I'm going to attach the strap to the apron. Now this is pretty bulky because it's folded down on both sides, so I just make sure that that folded edge, they're not on top of each other, they're actually next to each other. And then I'm just going to sew this around in a square to make sure it's secure on both sides. And then once I've sewn around the whole square, I just clip off my threads and that side is attached. Now on the shorter side, I'm going to insert the D-ring into my strap. This strap is much longer than I need, and I'll cut some off in a minute. But you want to sew the D-ring in place. So sew as close to the D-ring as you can, just to secure it in place so it doesn't roll around. You want it to stay steady. And then one of those straps, you're going to do the same thing you did on the other side, which is line them up side by side and then sew all the way around in a square to secure the strap in place. And now for this strap with the D-ring, I'm just going to cut off all this extra that isn't attached here. I don't need that. I could have just made that strap shorter from the beginning, but I just turn in that raw edge and sew it in place. And now the apron is done. So you can see here we've got our shorter strap with the D-ring on one side and the longer strap on the other side. I just think it makes it easier to actually put the apron on if you can do it from the side instead of from the back. Then of course we've got our useful pockets here to hold our utensils, or in my case a cell phone. And then you've got this useful product in the end. Even if you're a new sewer, this is a really good project to start with. It's not that hard to do, and then you end up with a great apron in the end. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.